Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us for this extended edition of our weather conditions here. I'm meteorologist Carley Gomez out of Sacramento, and we are looking at those scattered showers moving through. They're starting to break up out there, which has been nice because we did see a lot of heavy showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and evening, specifically into the San Joaquin Valley, as we saw a lot of that pushing through Modesto with those thunderstorms. Some areas of downpours in those regions where we saw localized flooding for some neighborhoods. But other than that, what we're looking at now is a bit of clearing. So we do have a lull between more of those scattered showers expected to arrive into your early Friday morning. And right now we're also getting a little bit of a break in the Sierra when it comes to snow showers. So if you did have plans to head up into the Sierra, you do have a couple of hours to get up and over before we start to see more snow showers arriving after about 11 p.m. Now, we do see some of these showers just pushing on shore now near San Francisco and just north of San Francisco as well into Santa Rosa and Clear Lake, Ukiah. Now, this will bring in a few scattered showers into the evening hours, but nothing very heavy at the moment. What we are watching here is more of those showers starting to pick up as we start to see a little bit of a plume out there into the Pacific. As that begins to approach, we are expecting those heavy showers to begin moving into the valley for that morning commute. So get ready for more wet weather into your at least Friday morning before things look very similar to what they look like Thursday, with a mix of sun and clouds as well as some scattered showers back into the forecast. Now, the first storm system you're looking at right here, the majority and the bulk of that moisture has moved past Northern California, Southern California, now extending itself into areas like Vegas and pushing toward Arizona. Now, what we're expecting with this is a big circular motion, as you can kind of see happening out to sea. It's going to pull its way right back up into areas like Salt Lake, wrap kind of the last portion of that moisture around, and then we'll see more of that rain for ourselves. Now, as the system continues to shift toward the east, we're expecting storm number 2 to begin arriving on Sunday. Now, so far with rainfall totals, we're actually starting to pick them up here. Looking at downtown Sacramento and Sacramento Executive Airport, we are now in a surplus. Just one day ago, we were at least starting to see ourselves behind when it came to rainfall totals on average for this time of year and this water year. Stockton, Modesto seeing well above average now, as we've seen the storm system really produce a lot of heavy rain for us. Now, the second storm is expected to produce a lot more. This one really tapping into that atmospheric river moisture that's coming in off the Pineapple Express there just north of Hawaii. That's going to tap into that second storm system, bringing us potentially as much as 1 to 3 inches of rain into next week. Now, the wettest day this water year, and you have to remember here, the water year starts October 1st, and that continues through September 30th. This water year, some of the wetter days here were December 19th for the Sacramento area, and then looking into the San Joaquin Valley, Stockton, Modesto, saw their wettest days January 22nd. So just kind of showing you how much these atmospheric rivers can really start shifting and moving, targeting one area and maybe not the other. Now, as we take a look at the first storm, really starting to make its way out. It's wrapping around. It's a pretty big one. This was a huge mid-latitude cyclone that really pushed into the coastline here, the Pacific Northwest. It had its biggest impacts here into the state line from California to Oregon just as of Tuesday night to Wednesday. Now, as we track the second storm, this one out to sea, that is going to tap into that one. You see that long kind of line, nice and defined line there. That is that atmospheric river that this low pressure system out there will begin tapping into, producing a lot of moisture. It's where these land. That's where we're going to see the biggest impacts. And for our storm system, this one was bigger for us, but although we didn't expect it to be pretty big for Southern California, it created a lot of flooding for areas off the 710 freeway in Los Angeles near Long Beach. We saw PCH closing in Huntington Beach as well. And we're going to expect to see big impacts again Sunday through at least Wednesday morning for a lot of wet weather. Now, as we take a look at the atmospheric river, really glowing there in that greenish yellow shade, you can see as it pushes through for Wednesday, kind of moves its way east, there's that second one arriving, and you see where it lands right into the Central California coastline down to Southern California. Now, while it will wrap around the low, we will get at least the moisture coming in off of that, but where it lands directly is starting to move near areas like Santa Barbara, Malibu. What we're going to see there is potential for mudslides, pretty damaging effects as we're seeing a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. Just imagine this is kind of like a hose being pointed right into Central to Southern California. Now, it will begin, as mentioned, wrapping around that low pressure system, and that's where we're going to see some more of that rain coming in out of the south, which will be interesting because we've typically been getting it coming in out of the Pacific Northwest, moving down toward the southeast, this time wrapping up as it starts heading its way from the south to the north for us Sunday through Tuesday night. Now, continuing to shift toward the south, we'll see more of that wet weather heading towards San Diego into Sunday night and Monday. All right, let's talk and time this out for Northern California. As we move into your overnight hours, this is where we're actually going to start to see a lot of the snowfall for the Sierra. So I told you had a window of time to get through there. That is now. As we get into the overnight hours around 2 a.m., you're really starting to see a lot of that snow building, accumulating there, but also dropping in elevation. We've been seeing most of our storm systems around 5,500 to 6,000 feet. We could see it as low as 3,500 feet just because we're starting to get a break in the clouds. And what you're looking at here is those gaps where you get clearing skies, colder temperatures able to pull themselves in, dropping the snow levels for us. Moving into the early morning hours, you're looking at some more lines and rain bands starting to at least form together from Sacramento towards Stockton around 7 a.m. That's where we could see some at least difficult driving for that morning commute, especially if you're moving from Modesto towards Stockton around 7. More snow accumulating, but notice how it gets lower in elevation closer towards Sonora and Arnold around 7 a.m. And then finally, looking into the afternoon, these are the downpours, thunderstorm chances we talk about. From Sacramento south, just take a look at that nice little cell that's pushing through. That's expected to begin moving in as well into the afternoon. And, you know, these just kind of pop up whenever they want, where we start seeing differentiating temperatures. When you get cold air and warm air together, creating these pop-up thunderstorms. So we could get them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to be there. We could get them all over the place from north to south as we move into the afternoon. Finally, Saturday, this is probably the part you want to hear the most. When can I get things done? It's going to be about Saturday morning into the afternoon hours. You'll still see a few little stray things here and there, but otherwise partly sunny skies. Most of the snow will begin to lift into the afternoon hours. Things are good if you're looking to get up or down the mountain. Do it Saturday mid-morning through the evening hours. You're looking at 8 p.m. there. You're starting to see some rain just offshore, so you still have time to do things on Saturday, get it all done, whether it's birthday parties, events, activities, that kind of thing, or even just cleaning around the house. That's the time to do it. All right, let's talk about the winter storm warning. This will be in effect until 4 a.m. until the new one is issued, as we'll start to see that in effect, I'm pretty sure somewhere between early Sunday morning until at least Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. That hasn't been issued just yet, but the first storm systems, at least until 4 a.m. on Saturday. You're looking at some travel delays tomorrow morning, as well as those reduced visibilities. And again, snowfall could be as low as 3,500 feet. Now, the potential rainfall totals from now just through your Saturday night, we're looking at anywhere from a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch of rain, maybe a 1/3 of an inch in Roseville, about a 1/2 inch in Auburn. But as we move on, just take a look at this. We could see rain over the next 5 days, anywhere from 1 to 3.5 inches of rain from areas of central California all the way up here into Sacramento. You're looking at numbers close to 4 inches, Yuba City, 4.5 in Vacaville, and I'm talking accumulative totals here. This is a lot of wet weather, short amount of time. We do anticipate seeing flood watches being put into effect because of all this heavy rain. So until we get closer to that time, we'll let you know what the National Weather Service is issuing for what areas and where we're seeing flood watches. So creeks, stream, rivers, those are expected to rise as we see more of that rainfall coming off the slopes of mountains. And then we are also looking at localized neighborhood flooding. Now, model here for snowfall totals, we're looking at the high resolution global model here, and that's showing just through Saturday morning as much as about 18 inches of snow near Donner, Twin Bridges as well, about a foot of snow there, Bear Valley. European model, as it shows through Sunday, could see as much as 45 inches. So, of course, these models really differ out there. We're going to wait and see exactly what we get. I usually see it closer to the 1 to 2 feet range, so that's kind of what I'm sticking with right now. But we could see these numbers moving toward Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So I'd say that is likely the number you'll see by Tuesday into Wednesday for the 2 storm totals. So looking at a lot of snow still headed our way. All right, taking a look here as we see the storm coming in from the south for Sunday, 5:30 a.m. You're looking at heavy rain offshore, snow beginning to come in. And then finally, as we lift here into your Tuesday night, Wednesday early morning, 3 a.m., most of it's gone. You still see a little bit more snow lingering for areas around Tahoe. And then finally, we do have some scattered shower chances into your Thursday with things clearing out by Friday. Taking a look at your 10-day forecast, you're saying, when am I going to get a break to do anything at all? Well, that is Saturday. Then we have more rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with a few maybe drizzles here and there. Wednesday, Thursday, a quick break with a slight chance Friday. I wouldn't count this as a big deal. Again, think of kind of what we had today. You had most of today to get things done, and then you encountered the occasional shower. Finally, moving on into next weekend, you know what that is? It is Super Bowl Sunday weekend. You're looking at mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s.